Yeah, guys, I'm back again, guys. I'm sorry, man. I was battling with my I was actually having issues with my camera and my microphone, but I've been able to sort it out. So, guys, welcome back to the Football Fan Zone with your boy Timber Banks. And like we're all actually doing in the first place, we're talking about transfers. So that is what we are still going to be talking about. We are going to be talking about transfers window, the latest development in the world of football regarding transfer. So, welcome on board. Um, and I think it's going to be a quick one. So, welcome on board. So, let's get to it together, guys. I don't even know where to start anymore. All I know was that I was having a good show. We're having a good show in the first place. Now, I think I just need to just start with the fact that Marc Guehi have actually been linked again. Like Newcastle came in back for Maguire with an improved bid, though the bid was not really specified. There was not really a specific amount on how much Newcastle were actually offering. But this is coming. This was coming from a Plattenberg, and it says here. This is what it says. It says here, Newcastle have returned with a third offer for Crystal Palace defender Marc Guehi. The bid was made over the weekend, and discussion between the two clubs are ongoing. And this is coming from a Sky Sport. He further went to say the second offer by Newcastle was in the range of £50 million. That was rejected. Now they've come with a third bid, and it says Palace valued the player at £65 million. Do I think he's worth £65 million? I don't know, but the honest truth is that what I can say is this, guys. What I believe, and I think is fair to say, is that he's a good player. And from what I saw over the Euros, it looked like a decent player. Sometimes there are those players whereby when you look at them, it does not give you that what's it called? That eye test. They don't pass the eye test. But if we're going to be honest, guys, it does not mean those guys are not good players. And in this case, this guy called Maguire is one of them because I believe he's a good player and I believe he will start for every team in the Premiership, including Man City. If we're going to be honest, guys, this guy starts for every team in the Premiership, including Man City. So is that good? So do I think he's worth 65 million pounds? I will say yes. Yeah. For what he's going to bring into that team, I would say yes. I would definitely say yeah. But I believe if Newcastle can get a deal done in the range of around 55 to 60 million, then I think that will also be a good deal, man. To be a fair deal. But I guess we just have to just wait and see how this ends up panning out. If they are going to get him for that amount, or they are going to be able to reduce the price of what the player goes for. I guess we just have to wait and see. Now, moving on, guys. Like I said, it's going to be a quick show, guys. Moving on, uh, we have seen Luis Diaz because Luis Diaz has been linked to Barcelona. For me, I don't know how true the article is. I don't think Barcelona have the funds to do a deal for Luis Diaz. Honestly, the only deal I think Barcelona have got the funds to do right now is Kingsley Coman, and that is because Kingsley Coman will be coming in for free. That is the only reason why I think Barcelona will be looking for to get Kingsley Coman because Kingsley Coman will be coming on loan, rather on loan. Barcelona don't have the funds to make a deal happen at this current stage. At this current stage, they don't have the money, the funds to do a deal. And that is the honest truth, guys. Now, coming from the Athletic, it says here Liverpool would consider selling Luis Diaz for around £60 million, which means If they can get an offer around 60 million pounds, then they'll be willing to do a deal for the player. But the question is, which club out there is going to get uh is going to come outside for him? You know, because I believe in the Premiership, I think everywhere is secured, guys. I think everywhere is secured. So if I'm being honest, guys, I think there's no way. I don't even see Luis Diaz leaving Liverpool, and that is the honest truth. I don't see Luis Diaz leaving Liverpool because you think of it, where is he leaving to, and who is going to replace him? Because if you're talking about selling Luis Diaz, does it mean that Liverpool are looking to bring in a player like Anthony Gordon? Because that is the only way to make sense to me. Maybe Liverpool are looking to ship him out and bring in a player like Anthony Gordon. But yet again, who is going to buy this guy? I do believe he's a good player, no doubt. I do believe he is a good player, no doubt. Just that, yet again, you ask that question: what happened to Luis Diaz? Because we all know what it was all about. Immediately when he came firstly to join the Premiership, we all knew what it was all about. He was a good player, was a fantastic player. But yet again, we don't know what happened. What happened to Luis Diaz? Could you put it on the injury? Could you put it on the fact that his dad was kidnapped? Who knows? But moving on, guys. This is what Adrian Monk says. He says, at Manchester United, perfect replacement for Rashford. You're taking a piece right now. You're trying to wind up the United fan base. But if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I know many Manchester United fans will not really want to hear me say this. I don't think Luis Diaz will be able to come into United because I believe United already have the likes of Alejandro Garnacho already, and they've got Sancho as well. And at the moment, if the case has to be between Rashford and Luis Diaz, I will tell you Luis Diaz is a better player than Marcus Rashford, no doubt. I'll say it anyway. Luis Diaz is a better player than Marcus Rashford, but in terms of does it come into the team, I don't think so because already you have a Leandro Garnacho already who is knocking on the door. Garnacho is knocking on the door, telling Rashford, dude, if you don't sit up, I knock you down. If you don't sit up, I take this position from you. So I don't think United will be looking to get a deal like get someone like Luis Diaz into the club. And the fact that he has played for Liverpool, we all know. And his name is just so hard to pronounce. It says that the best player to sell is either Gakpo or Nunes, because Lewis is far better to be sold. But yet again, at the end of the day, it's not about what you want. It's also about what the manager wants and who does the manager want to play. There's every possibility that the manager would have looked into this guy called Luis Diaz and would have been like, say to himself, okay, I want this guy gone. I think I can bring out the best out of the likes of um, Gakpo. And we also got the Gakpo there at the work at the Euros. So sometimes, so yet again, you also want to put into consideration what the manager thinks. I know fans sometimes we can be very, very, very sentimental. We can be like we have our favorites, we have people we love. But yet again, you also want to put into consideration what does the manager want? Does the manager believes or thinks he can work with this player? If the manager thinks he can work with the player, then give it a go. But if the manager just says no, man, he thinks he wants somebody else, then at the end of the day, it is what the manager wants. And that's the next truth. It is what the manager wants. So if the manager wants Darwin Nunez gone, then it is Darwin Nunez to leave the club. If the manager wants Darwin Nunez gone, then it's Darwin Nunez to leave the club. And if it's Luis Diaz, then it's Luis Diaz. So, but moving on with the show, guys. On to the next one, guys. On to the next one. Let's see what else to talk about. I'm still going to be looking at latest news or latest coming out from the what is it called? Now, I want to just speak on Jared Brightweight because there's an article coming out from I think from the Athletic, and it says here United have reopened talks with Everton about signing Jared Brightweight. It is claimed that United are submitting a fresh offer worth 60 million pounds, including all add-ons, and are confident that Everton will accept Manchester United. We can't possibly be going for Brightwood as well as we can. Now, that was a good one, man. One thing is this, man. Now everything seems to be playing in the right direction for Manchester United because we all know the predicament that Everton are in at the moment. Because already, even before a ball is kicked, there have been reports that there's a possibility that Everton will get point deduction. You know, so it's a smart move. It will be a very very good decision for Everton to actually accept that 60 million pounds right now. If I'm going to be honest, it will be a wise decision for Everton to receive that money right now because what they don't want to do is allow the Premiership start and they find themselves in a situation whereby they get point deduction and they get desperate. Then you have a club like Manchester United comes in January and maybe they offer around how much? Around probably 25 million pounds. Like Mark said. Mark said if it was him, what he would do is he would just leave Everton and come in January and offer them 25 million pounds. So for me, I think it's going to be a very smart decision on the side of Everton to just take this deal, accept that, man, you've lost this guy, cut your loss, and just move ahead. Because if you don't take this deal right now, I promise you, Man, you are still going to come back in January for this lad, and you guys will have no other option but to sell him anyway. So for me, I would say just sell him right now. You make 60 million pounds, and you can go out there and get other players. Honestly, you can go out there and get other players for cheap amounts of money. If I've been honest, if I've been honest. Now Malibina says here, he says here, what is she saying? This is what every Manchester United fans like right now. They believe they are cooking. They are cooking. But the honest truth is this, man. Back to what somebody was saying earlier. I touched on this, you know, and it still doesn't make any sense to me whereby you find the likes of Everton getting charged. You find the likes of Nottingham Forest getting charged. And yet, Man City still have a 115 charges. And yet, nothing has been done about it. Nothing has been done. It makes you ask the question, what is actually going on in this league? Honestly, it makes you ask that question, what is really, really happening in this league? Because if you have a club like Everton that are not even able to get away with just spending over, I think it was 2.9 million on the PSR rule, they are getting fined for it. They are getting point deduction for it. And yet you have Man City. Man City basically owns the league, guys. Let's be honest. They own the league. But let me just see what Malebina says here. Malebina says here, she says, we are cooking. What are we cooking? Man. Then Robinson says here, back to the blind spending and blaming City for spoiling the league. Fucking clowns. Robinson, what you're just doing is just taking a piece at United fans. Now, Vuzani says only if Harry Maguire and Lindelof are leaving, surely, or else we will have Licha, the late Euro, Brightwaite, Evans, Maguire, and Lindelof for centre back. Depth is good, but surely only five into two. But the honest truth is this, man. What I would say is this. I think Lindelof will leave. I'm sure of that. I believe Victor Lindelof will leave. Victor Lindelof looks like a player that wants to leave, go and play football. The only person I am not certain of or sure about, it's what's his name? Harry Maguire. And yet again, I won't blame what this guy is called Sergeant Ratcliffe or the Enos trying to sign as much as a lot of centre backs as they can. Because we know sometimes injury can come into the table. So last season. So they are putting themselves in a position whereby they want to deliver, they want to win something, they don't want excuses from this manager. They do not want an excuse for this manager should the case it fails. Because this is something we saw last season. Before you say anything, they tell you injury. Before you say anything, they tell you injury. Before you say anything, they tell you injury. So basically, what they are doing right now is they don't want to be in a position whereby they give the manager or the fans the opportunity to actually make an excuse for this manager. And when you have the likes of, if you have a center back of Lenny Euro, Gerald Brightwaite, Lizano Martinez, Delete, then you have the likes of Mazui, you have there's no way this manager will fail and make excuse. There's no way anybody's going to make excuse for this manager because everybody can see that he was given every tools he needed. Now, what they need us to do for me now is just get him some midfielders as well. You know, getting some midfielders. So whatever happens, peradventure the likes of Delete is out, or the way Lenier is out right now, then you still have something to fall back on, like the likes of Licha and Delete. And maybe something happened to one of them, Licha or Delete, you still have somebody like Jerry Bright to fall onto. So it does make perfect sense for me. It does make perfect sense because me, I want to be a banter, I want to be a hater. So I want to be on a legit ground doing my stuff. I don't want anybody telling me we were dealing with injuries. I don't want to hear that. So for me not to hear that, I want United to be in a position whereby they cannot make an excuse for the manager. Honestly, I want them to be in a space whereby they cannot make excuse for the manager. Let me just check if we are actually streaming live. I'm sure if someone would have actually complained about it if they can't hear me. I'm sure someone would have complained about it. Let me just double check myself, man, because you wouldn't know. Someone would have complained about it. Yeah. So we're doing well. We're on the right track. So like I said, it's a good thing whereby they are providing depth for the manager. It's a good one because you don't want to be in that situation the way last season whereby they tell you what do you expect the manager to do. Despite the fact that I believe those are just lame excuses, man. Because I've seen my team, Real Madrid, we played part of the season without even having people available. Yet we still won the league. We won the league, won Champions League. So, but I'm happy that they are giving this guy everything he actually needs to succeed. So I guess we just have to just see what he ends up doing with whatever players he has been provided with. We have to see what he ends up doing with those players. But moving on, guys. Like I said, having squad depth is very, very nice. I don't think it's a bad thing to have like your you know she listed it there. I don't think so, honestly. But let's move on. Let's move on with the show, guys. Let's move on with the show because we've seen so many things happening. I'm still gonna check every latest one happening. We've seen that Scott McTominay is the latest player to be linked out of Manchester United. Scott McTominay is the latest player to be actually been linked to with a move out of Manchester United. And this is coming from Sky Sport as well. It says, yes, Scott McTominay could be one to watch before the transfer deadline. As it stands, Fulham are not expected to go back for McTominay. Galatasaray are expected, but yet to get close to United's valuation. Now, I don't know what United thinks. For me, I'm still saying it. It is a very, very stupid decision for Manchester United fans or the people handling the transfer to believe that they can get 30 million for Scott McTominay. You know, it is crazy that they will believe that they will get 30 million for Scott McTominay. For me, what I would say, you guys just deal with your loss and just accept the fact that you have actually fumbled on this one. I believe 20 million is a good deal. Let him go. Take the money. Take the money. 20 million for me. It's a good deal. I'm serious. I'm not even joking or trying to just be taking a banter here. Like I'm being serious. 20 mil is a good amount of money. Take the deal. Let this guy leave your club so that you guys can move on um to the next option. You can go in and add the money to the money you want to use to get the likes of Ugarte or what's it called? Sanzabaj. But when you are lingering around this deal like this, then it's not making any sense, guys. It's not. Because we all know the reason why these deals have been, lingering like this is due to the fact that they have failed to just accept the money and allow this guy go. You know, big ups to you, Tommy. Tommy, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. So that's the thing. They've allowed this thing, stretch. For me, I just believe, why don't you just take the money? Take the money. 20 million for me, it's a good deal. You'd still have people you want to bring into the club. How about get that deal done? Deals like Scott McTominay, people like Scott McTominay will only just drag you down. Now, this is what David Moyes says. David Moyes says here, please take him. He's an amazing player. He's an amazing player, but you won't keep him. He's an amazing player to play for. Probably he's an amazing player to play for Galatasaray, but he's not an amazing player to play for Manchester United. Maybe that's what he meant. Then Ndado says, sell him ASAP. Take the 20 million, please. And that's what I'm saying. I would take the 20 million now. I'll take 20 million right now. Because for me, I still don't believe Scott McTominay is what, come on, 30 million. I'm sorry. And for a team like Manchester United, who is moving in a crazy dimension, in another dimension of trying to bring in quality players, sometimes all you need to do is cut your losses. Let him go, get who you want to bring into the club before the season starts. Otherwise, they train and get used to the players. Big up to you, Tom, for subscribing. Big up to you for subscribing. Then Andrew Mark says, McTominay, thank you for your services. It's time to enjoy new challenges. But you don't know if it's going to leave as well. Because from the assumption, from what you're saying right now, you make it seem as if you are sure there's something you heard that is leaving already. And this guy in question is not good enough for whatever Manchester United wants to do. And I see some fans saying that Galatasaray should talk about paying him £200,000 a week. And I was like, what are you saying? The highest paid player, I think, in the whole of Turkey is on £190,000 a week. And yet, I believe that will be Icardi. I believe that player will be Icardi. If he's still playing for Galatasaray, it will be Icardi. Nobody else will get that amount of money. Then you have people talking about he will get that money in Galatasaray. Ah, come on, man. It's crazy. But let us move on to the show, man. Let's move on to the next agenda, guys. But it's a good one. Everybody that I've been linked to Jared Brightweight. Let's see what end up coming up from that deal if they are able to get it over the line. Now, this is one that disgusted me, man. I don't understand. This is just crazy, honestly. If this is truth, if there's any truth in this article, then it is you ask a question: what is Manchester United doing? You will ask yourself, what is this club called Manchester United doing? Now, this is coming from Sky Sports. It says here Dominic Calvert-Lewin is one of the number of forward discussed by Manchester United in this transfer window. As it stands, it's not a priority position, and Manchester and United are unlikely to reinforce in that area unless there are sales. Now, basically, what you are trying to tell me is that if there's a possibility Manchester United get to sell players, then they will be looking to go for a player like this, Cavallowing. Tell me, is that not madness? This guy basically did not even play. He was not even available. He wasn't available for Everton throughout the entire season because we all know his injury record. We all know his injury record. I just somehow just believe and hope this article is just bullshit. Honestly, I just believe this is just crap. I believe I don't want to believe there's any truth in this article. I don't want to believe there's any truth in this article because that will just spoil everything Manchester United are all about at the moment. What they are like, how the way I see them, it will spoil everything. The way they're moving, the way I look at them, it will spoil everything. They do not need a player like Calvert-Lewin. You need a player that is always available. Sometimes you guys just move away from situation like this, guys. Move away. You have Zexi, you've got Rasmus Oyland. If there's a possibility whereby you're looking to bring in a player, then go for a player like Ivan Toni. I know we were discussing about it yesterday, and some people like, no, they won't take Cavallowin at the moment. I'm sorry, they won't take Ivan Toni because of his age. And only God knows what is happening behind the scene on like aside the footballing aspect, because it doesn't make any sense whereby you have a player by of his quality and nobody is going for him, you know. But aside that, I don't want to be seeing this rubbish man of United being linked to a player like Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That is where I will say, if you guys are so stranded or starving for a striker or for a forward, then you go for Ivan Toni straight. Go for Ivan Toni. It's as simple as that. I would rather just have them like go for Ivan Toni because I believe Ivan Toni is a good player, no doubt. He's a good player. Just that my team Madrid, we are set up in every position. I'll take him as a rotational player like Joselu. Yeah, I would. I would. So for me, I just believe there's a deal to be done. If Manchester United are really serious, they are looking to bring in a forward, then Ivan Toney is that guy, not Dominic Cavallo, because Cavallo will just come there and he will do a Luke Shaw, Malaysia. That's what he's going to do. He'll be on the bench because he's not even going to be available for games. And at the end of the day, you ask yourself, who is losing? You ask yourself, who is losing? And you ask yourself again, how did Manchester United find themselves in a situation whereby they are talking about bringing in a player like that? But yet again, this is what you still call, crap. You call it crap. But like I said, you still have to react to it anyway. You still have to react to it anyway. So let's just move on from that. Let me just go through some chats on that this thing. Now this is what Ngakile says. So this is a cracky crack a joke. Okay, this is like a cracking a joke for us to laugh. A player that cannot even use his feet, and that's what I'm saying. Forever injured. Malabina says this should never happen. This guy can't score to save his life. He is a 4-4-2 route one striker, perfect fit for Everton, and that is his level. Everton is his level. Everton is his level. Then Mitchell says here, I don't see Manchester United getting another striker with Oyland, Zexi, and Chido. And this is what I say. I thought they said Chido Obi Martins will be the third striker. That's what I thought. And I saw somewhere today that was it Whitney? Whitney will also stay with the first team until Rasmus Oyland is back. But I guess we just have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. I'm breaking news because this was coming from Damasio. This was coming from Damasio, and this is has to do with Chelsea Football Club, guys. Uh, Coming from Damasio, it says here that Napoli have offered 21.4.2 million pounds on add-ons for Lukaku. This was coming from Damasio. Now, this was basically just shows that Napoli are not ready to be waiting for what's it called? They are not ready to be waiting for Osime to do a deal with Chelsea. Because the honest truth is that there is a deal to be done there with Chelsea, but Osime have decided that he is not going to do it anyway because he believes he cannot bring down his price, and no club wants to pay the release clause. And the only opportunity Napoli had was to be able to negotiate a deal with Chelsea with Osime. Napoli wanted to include Osime in the deal. And sorry, Chelsea want to include Osime in the deal. They want to include him with the deal in the deal to get a suitable offer. But you have a player like Victor Osimhen that believes is what is not. I don't know why people overrate him. I don't. It's a bomb for me. That guy is crap. Like I tell people, like when people tell me, I tell them, don't tell me that rubbish. This guy you're overhyping, you're overrating. Is the worst striker in the history of the Super Eagles. Is the worst striker. Like I will wait for anybody to tell me who is the worst striker than Osimhen. I'll wait. Is the worst striker in the history of Super Eagles. And when I say the worst striker, I'm talking about both the strikers that played for Nigeria and never played in Europe. The likes of Julius Agawa, the likes of Victor Agali, that never had that time to go play in Europe. They are still better strikers than this bomb that is being overrated. It just gets to just show you what football is all about right now. You know, that is what it just tells you. Football is just crap. But when you look at the likes of Erling Haaland, who scores a tapping, and people tell you he's the best striker in the world. Come on, man. What has happened to football? Whereby we had times whereby you have when a striker scores tappings, they just look at them as like, man, dude, what are you even doing? There were times whereby when a striker scores a tapping, they just look at them like, ah. But right now, in the era we are, you have people like Haaland does it week out, week in, week out, week in, week out, and is being called the best striker in the world. It's crazy. This is what Pep have done to football. He has denied us those screamers. I don't even remember the last time I saw screamers. It goes for Ganacho last season, and it goes for what's his name, Bruno Fernandes. I don't remember the last time we saw those goals. Those were goals we are used to. We see them week in, week out. The likes of Gerrard, Patrick Berger, who else? Lampard, Savage from Blackburn, Solano, Taylor. They were scoring those bangers for fun, man. But right now, we don't get to see those goals anymore because of football have suddenly become robotic. It's about system right now. Robotic. Well, let's move on, guys. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next one, guys. And what is now? Kepa says here, stingy club, but they want us to pay our annuals for Osime. Osime is just a bomb, man. To be fair, to be honest, it's not a bad offering. Something is telling me Osime isn't gonna get done. No, I don't think so. I don't think Osime will get done, man, honestly. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think Victor Osime, the deal for Osime will get done. I don't think so. I honestly don't think that deal will get done. I think that guy will stay back at Napoli. And it will be his loss because if Chelsea are able to do a deal with Napoli for Lukaku, then you should forget about it because Lukaku is not going to bench him anyway because you have a player, a manager in Antonio Conte who does not rate him. Antonio Conte does not rate this guy. So where is he going to get the game time? Yeah. So he will be doing himself a favor to try and negotiate a deal and leave. But moving on, we have seen that this guy called Mario Omoso, and it says Manchester United rejected Mario Omoso's deal after he was demanding around 100,000 pounds a week, and United were willing to pay 80k a week for his services. 20,000 pounds a week meant talks fell through. But I don't understand why United are offering him 80k because it's a free transfer. I don't understand. He is a free transfer. Free. You guys are getting Omoso for free. Free. It's a free transfer. So I think 100,000 pounds a week, it's not a bad deal, guys. 100,000 pounds a week for me, it's not a bad deal. But yet again, it just gets to show you in what dimension these guys are moving. They are moving in a different dimension. That is what that is what you just have to just understand. These guys are not just there to just get done by anybody. So they're not going to just play around. But moving on, guys. I want to touch on what's his name? Eddie Ketia. Eddie Ketia. Because yeah, I think the deal for Eddie Ketia has collapsed. And this is coming from Fabrizio Romano. It says here, Olympic Marseille have also informed Arsenal that a Nketiah deal can be considered 100% collapsed. Olympic Marseille did not want to accept 30 million euros package after having bid rejected despite the green light from the player. Deal off. Now, I'm not surprised. I'm just surprised that Arsenal did not look to do a deal for Nketiah. Because if I'm going to be honest, guys, Nketiah as a bomb is not good enough. It's not. Education is not good enough. Arsenal just need to understand that yes, they made a mistake giving him a new contract. Ateta needs to be blamed. Ateta and Edu have to take the blame because I do not understand in what world they believe that Eddie Nketiah is worth 30 million euros, guys. Come on, because he scored an hat-trick against Sheffield United. It's crazy, man. It is honestly crazy. And the honest truth is that Olympic Marseille have gone out there to go and get a better player from Lille. I've forgotten the guy's name. They got him from Lille. Why don't you just get him out of the club? He will be there. He will be there. All these guys, man. Sometimes I wonder what these people do. Like it was crazy when I saw them. They were even demanding 50 million. Like I was like who will sign Eden Keter for 50 million? Are these guys in their right senses? 50 million. It's crazy, guys. Honestly, it's crazy. It's crazy. And that was says that Arsenal are having a fucking laugh, demanding that much for such a mid striker. This Arsenal club is so funny. 30 million for a player that barely plays and can't score 7 goals a season. I'd rather get a player from the academy. And the fact, Edo went from asking 50 million for Nketiah to rejecting 27 million, then begging for 30 million and ended up with not like it's crazy, man. Like how have they have Edo messed this deal up? How? How has he messed this deal up? Because they were offering 27 million pounds, 27 million euros. That was what they were offering. They were busy asking for 50 million. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's mad. It's sick. The fact that they actually believe, like the audacity to believe they can actually get that amount from these guys, from Olympic Marseille. It's crazy. But let's move on. Let's move on. Chelsea. Moving on to Chelsea because they are a crazy club. Chelsea are just one crazy club, man. Now, this is coming from Fabrizio Romano. He says that Chelsea will also work on outgoings in the next days. Lukaku expected to join Napoli. Raheem Sterling can leave if Joao Felix returns. As revealed, Noni Madueke one to watch in case of a good bid with Newcastle interested. And then it says Diego Moreira considering Strasbourg on loan. So basically, Chelsea are looking to bring back Joao Felix. And for me, I think that would be a very, very good development because, man, that left hand side is just dead. Honestly, the left hand side is dead. The left hand side is dead. But what I can say is this, man, like it says here, if a suitable bid comes for Noni Madueke, because I honestly believe Noni Madueke and Lavia, those were Chelsea best two players in the preseason. So I still believe he should still have a stand, a place in that team. Maybe not as a starter though, but I still believe it was still better than few players. You know, so for me, I would say Noni Madueke, like it says, if a good offer comes, if a good offer comes, then they will be in that conversation. But if not, then I think Noni Madueke will stay back. But yet again, I believe there's a possibility whereby good offer will come from Newcastle. Newcastle are really, 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 really interested in Noni Madueke. So I won't be surprised if Newcastle comes back in for Noni Madueke. So I won't be surprised because I think this guy is going to leave. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's going to leave. Amaron. I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking it's Amaron. I think Amaron might leave. So that's the thing. And Mark says, "Yeah, we don't want Noni Madueke to go. He must be protected at all cost." Then Jim Robinson says, "Why is Chelsea chasing Sterling away? What did he do wrong? Madueke has saved them this preseason and ending last season." But one thing to understand is this, man. It's not just about, like I said, when I was saying, I'm talking about Luis Diaz. Sometimes it's about what the manager wants. It's about what the manager wants. And if the manager does not want you there anymore, though articles will not come outside and say the manager does not want that player anymore. The article will not say it. Article will not just say the manager does not want the player anymore. Article will just put it out there and say is surplus to requirement. So I don't think they are chasing him. I just think for them they feel is the right thing to do. They want to bring in more players that probably suits the way they want to play. So I do understand that as well. So yes, it was good last season, but yet again, it all depends on what the teams or the direction they're going at. Now, Vuzani says, I speak for all Chelsea fans that Chaloba deserves better. Is even better than Badishu. Yeah, that is one I agree with. No, that's one I agree with. Chaloba is a better player than Badishu. Like, for me, I think Chaloba is better than whatever Chelsea has in the back line. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, I honestly believe Chaloba is better than whatever Chelsea have at their back, the center back. If I'm being honest, but yet again, it is what the manager wants. Like I said, then Guerrero says he says this is good. Sterling has tried for the team. Is in his capacity. It may not be as much as the fans wanted, but we can still help it. Madueke is a developing talent, and I wish him well in the future. We need Osime and Felix as soon as possible so they can blend with the team. Well, that is an interesting take, guys. That is an interesting take. And I agree with what he said. But that is an interesting take. But I agree with whatever he said. But for me, I still believe Chelsea would rather sell Sterling and keep Madueke than what you actually said. Chelsea would rather keep Madueke, sell Sterling, than sell Sterling and keep Madueke, and than sell Madueke and keep Sterling. But let's move on, guys. Let me just touching on the what else, what else before I go into the what else? What am I gonna say? Um, okay, let me just touch on this Everton, this Atletico Madrid stuff with Omorodon. Now, this was reported by PYS and Relevo. It says Atletico Madrid are very annoyed with the attitude of Chelsea FC and tension are high right now using Samu's satisfactory medical examination as an excuse. They wanted to try and change the condition in the contract, and that's what they did. That's what they did. They changed it. That is what they did. They actually changed the condition of the contract. They changed the condition of that contract. Initially, that was not what was agreed. But what Chelsea wanted to do was they wanted now to buy my name. You can see my name there. They wanted to buy 50% of the guy's rights, of his image right. They want to buy it. And the guy felt offended because initially we all thought it was maybe he failed medical. But Chelsea had other things in mind. And maybe they've always been, maybe there was no deal to be done with Samuel Morodon. They wanted to pull out of the deal. They wanted Atletico Madrid to just have, what's his name? Conor Gallagher. But Atletico Madrid were not really willing to do a deal. They want Chelsea to take a player from them. And this was where the conversation of Joao Felix came into play. That is where the conversation came into play. Because man, you're not going to just play a fast one on Atletico Madrid. You won't. So that's it. And let us move on to the I think what is this guy's name again? Is it Chukwemeka? Yeah, I think one of them are also set to be interested. Crystal Palace. This is what Fabrizio Romano says here in regards to the Joao Felix thing. It says here Joao Felix already said yes to Chelsea return. His agent So it says here that the agent, his agent Mendes, was informed yesterday negotiation between Chelsea and Athletic, as revealed last night, is up to Chelsea now. This is crucial for Conor Gallagher. And there was a report that said the deal for Conor Gallagher is actually off. So basically, see that deal for this guy is done. The deal for is actually done. So, but I guess we have to wait and see if there's a possibility whereby the deal can come back to life. When it comes to transfer, anything is possible. When it comes to transfer market, anything is possible. So basically, now it is in the hand of Chelsea to make this deal happen. In the hand of Chelsea to make this deal happen. So let us see if Chelsea are going to be willing to strike a deal. Now moving forward, now Chelsea, I said Chelsea. Sorry guys, Manchester United. It says here, Manchester United are working on two possible arrival in the midfield. Talks are continuing between Burnley over the signing of Sander Berge, and dialogue also remains open with for Monaco over Yusuf Fofana. And this is coming from Sky Sports. And it will be a very, very good one because I still believe they need a midfielder. But the question is, does it mean now that they're not going for the best option anymore? They're going for a cheaper price now. Because for me, that is what this is looking like now. That is what this is indicating to be. They are looking to go get cheaper option. And if there's one thing, what's his name? I've been saying, Mark. Mark, I've been talking about the fact that he does not want Fufana in his team. Mark he has continued to say it out that he does not want that guy at his club because he believes that he's a bum, he makes too many mistakes, he gives ball away to opponents. And already they already have one player that gives ball away. They already have someone like Bruno Fernandez that gives the ball to the opponent. So you don't want another one. You don't want another person making that same mistakes. So I can understand. But yet again, dialogue is going on between the club. Let's see which D is going to get done. Sander Berge, they've talked, and I think, sorry guys, I think they've been talks, and there's kind of like an agreement in place. But I think the only thing is that the amount of money these guys are looking for, Burnley wants, I think, 30 million pounds, if I'm not mistaken. That what Burnley are asking for. And I think Manchester United are talking in the range of 20, 25 million around there. I'm not really sure, but I know they've been discussion, if I'm going to be honest. But in my own opinion, I think that guy looks good, man. So that bench looks decent. I would love to see what it's all about at United. I would love to see what is all about. But yet again, man, we just have to just wait and see if the deal gets done. Let me just moving on, guys, because I think Wambasaka. No, okay, yeah, this one's what. Okay, this was I reported. I actually spoke about it in the first show. Yeah, I was having a show in my mic, and it says coming from Fabrizio Romano. It says here, Fabrizio Romano is actually saying that Aaron Basaka, Matthias Delete, and Mazui completing main part of the medical, all proceeding as expected so far. So basically, there was a report again that said that um, what the so-called this thing was done, transfer. Sorry, the medicals were done. The main part was done. So Let's just wait for it to be officially announced because that's the only thing we are waiting for, and for them to be unveiled. But you can say basically this deal is actually is done for me. It is safe to say the deal has been done. Now, this is coming from the Athletic guys, and he's saying here that okay, let me just check. He said. He said the best option here is Fofana. Nothing concerned me about Berge because I have watched him play before and it's not good. Well, have you watched Fofana played? Have you watched Fofana play? That's the question. It's not just about you watching somebody play. Have you watched Fofana played also? Then he says, don't know why most of people don't want rate this guy. And I don't know. That's the problem. And they've not seen him play. That's the problem. They've not seen him play. Most people just talking here, I have not seen this guy play football. They just give opinion based on probably because he plays for Burnley. Now moving forward, this is coming from the Athletic. It says here, Vinny rejected an XXL offer from Saudi Arabia. A delegation from Saudi Arabia made an approach on Vinny's representative, but Brazilian wants to continue his career at Real Madrid. Man, you don't play for the best club in the world, the biggest club in the world, at such a very very tender age. Then you have offers, crazy offers. No matter what the offer is, man. Vinny Junior is not going to Saudi Arabia as yet, man. Guys, come on, let's stop doing that. Stop doing that. You know, because you ask the question, what do you even expect in the first place? Were you guys thinking that he will go? Because already he's earning a lot of money at Real Madrid. He's earning a lot of money at Real Madrid. As it is right now, he's earning a lot of money at Madrid. So I don't see a reason why he would want to leave Madrid. Madrid, the best team in the world. Come on, guys, you can do better. You should know when to come for a player. Now is not the time you come for a player of Vinicius Junior caliber. It's not now. You still have to wait more. Now, this is coming yet again. It's coming from ESPN Brazil, just to just share more light into this Vinicius Junior thing. And it says here, breaking, Vinny Jr. has not said, okay, he said, yeah, Vinny Jr. has not yet said no to the offer from Saudi Arabia. They are offering him an annual salary of 350 million euros. And Vinicius has not yet rejected the offer. The Saudis are talking to Real Madrid. Coming from ESPN Brazil, for me, I don't know how true is this. I honestly don't know how true is this, but I don't think Vinny Jr. will leave. You know, if I'm going to say anything right now, I don't think Vinicius Jr. will leave Madrid at this point because, come on, man, I don't think he's ready to leave Europe. If I'm being honest, guys, I don't think he's ready to leave Europe. So I don't think there's a possibility of this kind of a deal happening. It's not. So even though he has not even said yes to the deal, it does not mean that it's considered a deal. you know, because for 350 million euros, I don't know how much that will be in pounds, but I know that's a lot of money, man. I'm sure that would be a lot of money, guys, a lot. I'm sure it will be higher than Ronaldo, actually. Wow. Wow. That is over 300 million. 300 million pounds. That is like 100 million pounds higher than Ronaldo. Because Ronaldo earns, I think Ronaldo earns 200 million a year. That would be 300 million pounds a year. If Vinicius Junior would ever think of taking that deal, that will make him the richest, the highest paid player in the world. That is 300 million pounds, guys. 300 million pounds a year. Man, but I don't think he will take it, man. Come on, man. I'm sorry. I don't think he'll take that deal. I don't think he'll take that deal. Everyone says, yeah, that's insane. 350 million euros a year. That it's crazy money. I know. I know. That's like 300 million pounds a year. You don't need to tell me. I know. It's a crazy money. But yet, I don't think Mbappe, I don't think Vinny Jr. will take it. He will play for Madrid. But moving on, guys, to Napoli. There's something to talk about Napoli actually. Aside the Lukaku's story, there's a article coming from Fabrizio Romano. It says, yeah, Napoli are prepared to close both David Nares and Billy Gilmour's deal this week. Deal in place with both players and new bids to get both agreement done with Benfica and Brighton. Napoli will also insist for Romelu Lukaku as new contact will follow with Chelsea. So this is a serious club. They are moving fast. And this is the effect of Antonio Conte. He wants to be sharp. He wants to be ready for the season. So whatever he's doing right now, he is trying to be sharp and be ready for the new upcoming season. So I don't really blame him because that is what you do when you are a serious club and you want to compete for trophies. That is what you do. You get in your players quick, which is the same exact thing United are also trying to do. Bring in the players they need for to begin the season ASAP. That's what they're trying to do. So I understand. Now moving forward, guys. I've seen people talking about Dani Olmo. You know, Dani Olmo. This is coming from where is it coming from? Lascelles, and it says FC Barcelona are currently unable to register Dani Olmo, and his registration remains uncertain. The club can only register new players by selling some of their players. You see, and this is the reason why I believe they cannot get a deal for Nico Williams done, a deal for Rafael done. Because it is crazy how they can't even register Dani Olmo, and yet there are talks of them being linked to Rafael Leao. Guys, it doesn't make any sense. And this is also coming from what's it called? Daily Mail. Let me just go through Daily Mail. Barcelona cannot register Dani Olmo despite completing £51 million deal, and the Spaniard won't make his debut in La Liga opener unless the Catalan giants recover huge sum of money, which means they need to sell players. That is what it's basically saying. They need to sell players. I believe they will get it done. I honestly believe they will get it done because this is not the first time we see Barcelona in this sort of situation. They will get it done. But the reason why I want people to understand is because I see people talking about Rafael Leao, talking about Nico Williams. I said yes, blah blah blah. It's not about them saying yes. It's about Barcelona doing what they are supposed to do to get this transfer over the line. First of all even need to first of all buy players. Sorry, sell players. They need to sell players first before even talking about buying players. They need to sell players first. So that's the thing. But yet again, it just shows that sometimes You ask yourself, how did Daniel Olmo even end up at Barcelona? But that's where he wants to be at. That is where he wants to be at. So sometimes when you ask questions like this, you want to ask the player as well. Let me just see if I've not even reacted to. If there's something I've not yet touched, so I can just go through it. Now, Guerrero says here Barcelona has been buying the Spanish referee through their vice presidents with proven payments from the club for decades, and yet they are still allowed in the league, and nobody mentions it. It's a total scandal. Barcelona should have been relegated to the regional division of the Spanish League One, or uh, simply dismantled. Because and the other, you're right. I understand what you're saying. You're right because one thing is this, man. Barcelona, they've done so much corruption in football. They've done so many corruption, guys. So many guys. So many corruption. But it's what it is. Now, Maribina says, yeah, Olmo is a fantastic talent. You can see why Barcelona wanted him, but surely the state of affairs at the club would have been cleared to them. And you do think they do sort it out by before buying him. It is not new. Honestly, if I was to be honest with you, this is not the first time they are doing this, man. They did it with Godogan as well. They did it with Godogan. They did it with Christensen. They did it with so many players. So this is not the first time they are doing this, man. They are used to it. But let's move on from it. Let's move on from that, man. And I'm jumping into Sancho because you ask yourself, what was the signing of Desire do means? Now, this is what it says here. This is coming from Graham Bailey. He says, PSG we abandon the Jordan Sancho's pursuit after the signing of Desire Due. And guys, man, if I have to be honest with you guys, I saw what this guy's all about in the Olympics. Man, guys, that guy's a good player, no doubt. He's a good player, no doubt, honestly. But does that mean that this deal now is done? Does it mean that Sancho now will have to stay back at United? And by the way, for me, I never thought he was going to leave anyway. In the first place, I never thought he was going to leave. You know. So what I just want to just see, I just want to just see if Tenag is going to be able to make it well because he has to. He has no other choice. He has no other option except another club comes in for him. He has no other option but to try and make this lad work. If I'll be honest with you guys, he has to make it work somehow, some way. He has been giving other players chances, so I think he should do the same thing with Sancho as well. So that is what it is for in that Sancho's case. And Gabriel says he's so bad. Okay, he so badly wants to. Okay, he so badly wants out deep down, but he knows there aren't many clubs. He will pay his fat wages, so he has to put on a good face at United. Well, that's the next. He wants to leave, no doubt. If I'm going to be honest with you, Sancho wants to leave, and I think Tenag wants to leave. Want him to leave as well. I don't think Tenag rates that guy. I don't think so. Then Rakola says, yeah, this guy needs a new lease of life. Guys, see what he did back at Dortmund. The kid too needs to drop his wage demands drastically and focus on reigniting his career. But you make it look simple. You take it just you made it seem as if it's just something you can just do. Guys, we're talking about money here. We are talking about money here. Tell me, if you're in this position, would you just drop your wages like that? No, it's not easy. But moving on, guys, I want to touch on this guy called Evanissin. I believe it's Evanissin. Let me just check it out again. Okay, Banamot. And it's coming from Fabrizio Romano, and it says, yeah, exclusively. Bonamont submits an official bid for Brazilian striker Evanissin to replace Solanke. The proposal has been rejected by Porto as they also turned down another proposal from Nottingham Forest few days ago. So, which means Porto are not looking to sell their striker. So, where does Everton and Nottingham Forest go from here? And honestly, the strikers market is very, very bad, guys. At the moment, the strikers market is terrible. The strikers market is shite at the moment. It's shite. Now let's go to this Zubimendi because the way this Zubimendi's issue is being treated is not good. You know, I don't like the way sometimes clubs treat players. You cannot have a player that plays in your team. I've done it all for you, giving you as much as respect you deserve. Then when it's time for the player to leave, you want to, you know, block the move. Guys, come on. Allow this guy go to his, go play football. Allow him leave. Allow him to go and play football, guys. Now, this is coming from, let me just check what the source. It says, Paul Joyce. And it says here, crazy news. Real Sociedad has told Matteo Zubimendi he must trigger his own £51 million release clause from his boyhood club if he wants to leave. This would mean the midfielder would have to go to La Liga offices, pay himself, and pay the clause. Like, it's crazy, man. Liverpool wants to do a deal, but you guys are not willing to sell. Sell this guy. And it's a disgrace that you guys, they are asking him to pay, like to pay his own release clause. Come on, it's crazy. And you ask yourself, where is the honesty here? Because he's a good player. He's a good player. So why would they ask him to pay his own release clause? Now, this is you know the strategy here, guys. The strategy here now, the strategy I see here now, guys, is to make this guy called Zubimendi now a bad guy. They are making him, they are making him a bad guy. They are making Zubimendi a bad guy. They want you to seem as if he wants to leave the club by all means. So whereby now the fans of the club don't get to hate the player, but hate Zubimendi right now. This is what they are doing right here. And it's crazy, man. It's a very, very um lame this thing they are doing, man. Honestly, it's crazy. Ah, come on, man. This guy does not deserve this treatment they're giving to him. He does not deserve that treatment. He has done everything. Allow the guy go to Liverpool. It's as simple as that, guys. Allow him leave. Allow him leave. He has been a good servant to the club. So why not just let him go? Because what all I'm seeing here is they want too much money for him, and it seems they are not going to get enough the money they are looking for, or they will not get that the release clause they want. So this is why they're doing all this rubbish. And by the way, Crystal Palace are aimed to sign. Crystal Palace are ready to pay 20 million to sign Kani Chukwu Emeka from Chelsea. Do you think Chelsea would get it? Do the deal because no Chelsea? Yeah, it is. Chelsea, Crystal Palace are ready to pay over 20 million pounds to sign Kane Chukwuemeka. Do you guys think he will do the deal? You can never tell, guys. You can never tell. You can never tell. I guess we just have to just wait and see what end up happening on the deal. Big up to everybody on the chat. Big up to Rakola. Big up to Gabriel. Big up to Malibina. Big up to Saul Evans. Big up to everybody in the chat. In Inaya, big up to you for coming on the chat. I really appreciate you guys being here tonight, man. We had a wonderful stream, guys. We had a very, very wonderful stream, and I loved the stream. So thanks for being here with me. I will see you guys on the next one. Let's see what breaks tomorrow, and if we see if we're going to get the official news from the players that are signed. Let's wait and see if we want to get it. Yeah, we'll go tomorrow. From me, your boy, Tema Bands, guys. I'm signing out. Good night. Have a lovely night rest. I'll see you guys in the morning. Thanks for watching. Good night.